Hey, what's going on guys, Migzuba here, and in today's video we're going to be taking a look at a mono black control deck for standard best of 1. So mono black control is probably one of my favorite archetypes that doesn't get played too much in high level competitive play, mostly due to the fact that it is fairly weak against any control deck that has blue. It does not fare too well against counterspell decks or decks with a lot of card draw, or just powerful blue spells that go way over the top like Temur and Sultai Ultimatum. But in best of 1, where the meta is hyper aggressive, mono black control does super well, whether that be against mono red, mono white, Winota, which is now very popular due to the Blade Historian. Against all those matchups, basically mono black control goes super hard and is very favored, which is why we're going to be playing it today in best of 1. So we'll get into the list. There are a couple new cards from Strixhaven, but it doesn't upgrade the deck all that much, but we do have a fun new Planeswalker to play with that, I've been putting in a bunch of decks. I played in Temur, I played in Esper, I'm playing it here. I love this card, I think it's a lot of fun. It is powerful, but I don't think it has a home in every single deck. But we are going to try it in mono black control because it has card advantage and removal on the same Planeswalker, as well as a powerful ultimate, and how much more can you really ask for? So we got some Bloodchief's Thirsts, just cheap early removal, kill a creature, later on can kill a Planeswalker if you really need to. Cling to Dust because Rogues is a real deck, especially in best of 1, where a lot of the sideboard hate can't get played against it, so we mainboard a Cling. It's good in pretty much a lot of matchups. It can draw you a bunch of cards, gain you some life. You guys know Cling. Eliminates and Heartless Acts. It actually used to be higher on Eliminate because it dealt with things that had counters on them, and Mono White with the Aspirant was very, very popular. But now I'm a bit higher on Heartless Act because it kills Winota, right? And Winota's been on the up and up lately, so you can play with these numbers. I'm still on a 3-3 split because this kills everything early, and then Winota's just not as good, but this actually deals with Winota. Against Mono White, this is better. Against Mono Red, I think this is better. But you can play with these removal spell numbers. We have a Hunt for Specimens. So Hunt for Specimens is really interesting. It creates a 1/1 pest, which can essentially chump block and use some life, and it also kind of draws you a card. But that card is going to be a Toolbox Learn card if ever you need one. So you can make sure you hit your next land drop. Maybe remove a thing. So we don't have that many creatures. We do have the token from Hunt, the Solemn Simulacrums, and the Murderous Riders. Those are like the only creatures we have. But if you're hunting, grabbing a Necrotic Fumes and the 1/1 survives, basically you can use that as a target for the removal spell on the Necrotic Fumes, which is really slow, but it's an option. Pest Summoning, just create some blockers. You can chump, get some life, draw some cards if you really need to, remove a thing. You can reanimate your Planeswalkers like Ugin or Liliana, which is really cool at this card, or you can take out your opponents. So nice little lesson we have here. I'm actually a huge fan of this card. And then we have Mascot Exhibition as a way to close out the game. We got Mazemind Tome as one of our ways to smooth out our draw, gain some life, and obviously draw some more cards if ever we can. Absolutely love the Tome, but have been playing with it too much lately, so really happy to be putting it in this deck. For another new card, we got the Callous Blood Mage. So this is a 3-mana 2/1, so a really poorly statted creature, but sometimes it's fine just as long as you have a blocker on board. When it ETBs, you can make a 1/1. Oh, sorry, that's another creature that you can use for the Necrotic Fumes. We have this that can make another token that you can also use for the Necrotic Fumes. Anyways, so you can basically, once this ETBs, you make a 1/1, you can draw a card and lose a life, which is okay. If you need another card in your hand, it's an option. You're actually probably more often than not going to go for that, or you have the exile target player's graveyard. So this is pretty good against stuff like cycling. Against rogues, you can exile your own graveyard, reset all that. So pretty decent flex card. I'm pretty happy with one copy. It's a nice little, like I said, flex card, pretty cool. Nightmare against rogues, super good. Decent against aggro, can usually take out something like a Great Henge or an Embercleave and kill a thing, so pretty solid. Murderous Rider, removal spell, and creature. I'm actually a big fan of the Rider in this deck, just gives you more stuff to do with your mana, and we typically do have a lot of mana because of ramp in Solemn Simulacrum. This card helps us hit our land drops. Not hit our land drops, but basically increase our mana count to get to bigger sweepers like Shadow's Verdict, or more powerful Planeswalkers like Liliana or Ugin. Extinction Event and Verdict. You can play with these numbers too. I'm pretty much liking a 3-2 split because we deal with so many creatures in the early game that when you're at this point, you might need a sweeper. but sometimes you don't. And Verdict is good because it exiles the yard and sometimes can't deal with everything that Extinction Event can't deal with. They basically cover each other's bases pretty much. This deals with bigger creatures, this doesn't. They have their upsides, they have their weaknesses. I like these 5 sweepers in the deck. We talked about Liliana. It also has this sweet Magecraft ability. We have a fair amount of instants and sorceries in the deck. We have, we got like 10 sorceries, 8 instants. That's like 17 different ways to proc Magecraft. And we have plenty more sorceries in the lesson board. So Magecraft can be really relevant, gain you some life, and slowly drain out your opponent. The ultimate can renew the game. When you -3, the opponent has to sacrifice a creature with the highest or the greatest power. And the +1 basically draws you a card with card selection. Don't forget, it does burn you a little bit, you lose a life, and it can fill your yard for Cling, which is a pretty cool synergy. At the top of the deck, we have Ugins. We're going to play mono black control, so we're going to play Ugin. Basically, comes down, sweeps the board, can bolt face, can bolt anything every turn, and ultimate pretty much wins you the game. You guys know these cards by now. Mana base, we got some castles, the most powerful one, draws you a million cards, really solid. 16 swamps, because untapped lands are important, and we want targets off the Simulacrum. We got some Crawling Barrens as an alternate win con, and we only really do need 2 black pips, like 2 here, 2 here, technically 2 for the Bloodchief's Thirst, but if we're hitting like 2 or 3 of these lands, it really isn't a big deal, and the odds of that happening are very slim. So we have some Crawling Barrens as, just a nightmare win con against control, sometimes just gets them, and against aggro can be a way to close out the game. We got a Palakis Predation. I mean, it's kind of like an edge case card against Ultimatum. If you can like spike one, you're pretty happy. And if not, it's just a tapped black land. We are a control deck. We could afford a couple tapped lands here and there. And I want to play 26 lands. So we play the 24 standard and we play 2 DFCs. So hand hate spell on a land and removal spell on a tap land. So that's going to be it for the list, guys. It will be in the description down below as always. If you like the deck, be sure to drop a like on the video and consider subscribing. It motivates me to make more content. So that's going to be for me, guys. Let's get into some games. Okay, well, that's mono black control for you. Let's go. Mono black boy. Okay. Oh, this could be rogues. Snow rogues, interesting. At least we have our Cling to Dust, so not totally a dead card. But yeah, this Cling is gonna have to put in some work. Never mind the lag in the beginning, guys. Don't worry about me. And they're Zareth rogues, so we want to take out big, powerful permanents. That's a good one. Okay. We just hold open Heartless Act right here. Opponent can hit me for 1, that's fine. And we'll see if we can shoot the Enforcer. If they drown here, I'm very happy. They didn't say please. Again, completely fine. They're feeding our Cling to Dust. Oh, we mill our anti-rogues tech. A little annoying. But now we can hit them with a Nightmare. And now we can start clinging away our yard if we want to, which might be the move, or we can just get Simulacrum online. I want to see what we're going to hit off the Nightmare first and foremost. But yeah, making sure they won't be able to enter the story can be very crucial. They Aghademes for 1. Okay. Mill me there. Sure. See what you got. So, I could take the Drown. And then basically make this useless by cleaning out my own grave. I really like that. And I'll exile a Heartless Act. And we're gonna mill exile 1, 2, 3. Actually, we want to get rid of good permanents. So we 1, 2, 3, 4. 5. Alright, I'm not sure which Heartless Act I targeted, so we're gonna hit everything but that. So yeah, we clean out our yard. We draw another card. And now this hits for 1. There's pretty much no targets for Eliminate in our deck, except for like Crawling Barrens. Wind Robber started filling the yard a bit more. This stuff is fine. So we wipe their grave. I can Cling again. I think we just go for an extinction event while we still can. Oop. Yep, and hit odd while they can't sack to the Wind Robber. Get that value. 6 cards in grave. I'm not gonna let there become 7. I'm just gonna cling. Ah, they found 7. Okay, fine. But I can just clean my own yard out, which is hilarious. So while they're tapped low, we will exile the other Heartless Act, get rid of the good permanents, and Extinction Event, cool. Shrink this down for size. Oh, Cling is so good against rogues, guys, especially if you stabilize like this. Like, it's disgusting. And I can shoot this now. I think we do. In case they draw another one, it won't get any more triggers. So we can shoot it. We're tapped out, but I think that's fine. Alright, I think we have officially stabilized. I mean, the problem with Professor Onyx is that we fill our own yard. So I think we just... I'll play land here, play out Simulacrum, ramp some more, and they scoop. Okay, so this was about to be a long, painful game of me trying to weave in Professor Onyx and not mill myself, and not enable their into the story, but the more mana we have, the more times we can cling every turn, and eventually they're going to play stuff right into our multiple removal spells. I can actually play this now, pretty much, to get into their hand. Depends how greedy I want to be. I think we actually do play this out just to get this Nightmare out of their hand. But yeah, as you can see, Clintidus just decimates rogues, for those of you that haven't seen that happen already. That's not a lot of lands, but against Yorion, we have our best couple cards. Okay. And Barons. Oh, man. Hello. Land. We really need lands here, guys. We have a 26 land deck, so we should be on track to hitting them. Haven, yep. Land, we did it, and it's a good one too. Alright. Just because we have so many control tools, like our best control cards, I don't think we could have mulliganed this. Because we could have... Oh, that's unfortunate. Alright, Nightmare looks really bad in the face of that. But we Nightmare again. Let's see if they have another binding, which if they do, so be it. Okay, and they take Temur Triome, interesting. Cultivate, alright, so we get to get into their hand at least once, which is good. Okay. And 2 mana available. They just played Cram Session, okay. I've actually been seeing more and more of this card. I'm considering playing it in this deck. That's not too great against Murderous Rider. Valky is the real problem here. I don't really have creatures. I guess we just get rid of the Fractal Summoning. And we say go hold open Rider. They can play Valky, we Murderous Rider it. All this removal is kind of like me drawing all my removal. It's not great. Also, the fact that we drew all these lands off the top is actually so good. Alright. So, Heartless Act doesn't kill Barons, but this does. Sorry, Eliminate does. Now they have a castle. Okay. And we can actually play Liliana here. And unless they have another binding, they're in trouble. So let's go. Tome. And we lose some lands, which are actually pretty good, because we need to hit lands up to Ugin, but I think Tome is too important. It's a lot of card advantage. And they can just rip Ultimatum at any time. Yorion, sure. Yorion's really whatever. I can Heartless Act it at will. Okay, they flicker it to have 2 mana on the castle. Cheeky. Plus, we have plenty of removal spells in the deck. Hand Hate Spell. Or Ramp. What does my turn look like? Play Tome. Heartless Act. Draw off Tome. I think we do grab Simulacrum, but Simulacrum just gets, like, board wiped, then we have no value. I'm considering the Predation. Alright, let's go for the Predation. We'll play this tapped. I'm gonna destroy this now because while this Yorion isn't a huge threat, if it does get countered, it's frustrating. Ooh, Magecraft's starting to chip away at their life total. We play Tome, and we pass. Okay. So does the opponent have another binding? Cultivate. Thin your deck out of some lands, that's fine. And all this removal looks really bad. Expensive Locked and especially when I can pressure you with a potential Liliana ultimate soon. We draw off Tome, another Tome, nice. Okay, removal isn't too great. I'm gonna grab land. I need to keep hitting my land drops, even though we're bidding a Ugin, which is unfortunate and looks weird. I think that's the correct play. Now, what's the plan? I can Predation them, see if one of these cards are Ultimatum. I think that's actually fine. Drain them a little bit. Nice binding. So happy I took you. Second Tome. If we play this, it just gets removed. So yeah, second Tome. Even though it's a little bit less mana efficient, it's okay. And then we'll just draw off Tomes. Okay. Expensive Locthwain. Again. And if we cast, like, what? A couple instants and sorceries, they literally just die. I could Heartless Act this. I'm just going to draw for now. And we have untapped land. I'm not going to use my Scry. So, opponent might discard a card. If they don't, they lose 3 life. Repeat this process 6 more times. So this happens 7 times. So they lose 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They would take 3. So they'd be at 5. I would need to cast 2 instants and sorceries. Can I kill them? I can't. So I would go 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold on. Let me check my mana. I have 9 mana. So animating and attacking with Crawling Barons is 5. So it'd be like all this. And then I think I have lethal here. So this is how we do it. Okay, it's weird, but we go here. Hit them with the Magecraft. Oh, I had to be on full control. That's unfortunate. That's actually unfortunate. Okay, well, whatever. Basically, the plan was to eliminate and then Heartless Act, then minus Liliana, get them down to 2, and then attack with this. I think that means we just keep Liliana in play. Sure. I will draw a card, and they can shoot this, whatever. Alright, well, I'm a little annoyed at myself. Should have been on full control, but whatever. They can shoot that, it's fine. Okay, also, if they're dropping off cards in their hand, Liliana is more likely to kill them. And if they can't answer it in 1 turn, we just win. But the danger of not killing them there and missing the full control thing is that they can just top deck Ultimatum and kill us. Which is why I want to deal with this deck as quickly as possible. I say as quickly as possible. We are mono black control. Nice. Oh, they're playing out their... Wait, what? Why would you play that out? Oh, they want to draw off the castle? Opponent goes to 1. Good game. Yeah, we just have to cast one more instant sorcery. I'm a little annoyed at myself that we quote-unquote missed lethal, because I didn't actually miss it, but I missed holding full control, so we didn't actually physically get to lethal. I don't know. You guys get what I'm saying. Anyways, pretty successful game against Ultimatum. This does not happen often. Sure. Removal spell, removal spell, removal spell, play big planeswalker, win the game. Easy. We just need some lands, some card advantage in between. That's the card advantage in between we're looking for. Very good. Against Temur. It's really hard to play a 1-for-1 kind of game against Temur. Like, very hard. Okay, opponent has something. Yep, Lovestruck Beast. I'm going to take a Scry here. That's good. I want to hit my lands. We're going to shoot this Innkeeper so it doesn't draw any cards for the opponent. Play our tap land and pass the turn. Okay. Well, we have a plan. And Adventures is not the best matchup because 1, they can run counter magic. 2, they can run time walks. 3, they have, well, all their cards are 2-for-1, and they're greedy. They are greedy adventure mage. Okay. All right. We're not going to take another Scry here because we can have basically 2 mana up after we do this. We're using the Eliminates because they might have Goldspan Dragon, which this deals with. And we have to kill the Innkeepers because we have way too much 1-for-1 removal that Adventures will be able to keep up with if they're drawing cards off all our creatures. Or off all their creatures, sorry. Okay, that's like double red the opponent elected to do. So, I really think they have a Goldspan Dragon. Which is why I'm not going to Heartless Act this thing right now. We are going to draw and see if we can hit another removal spell. Because this is either an Allrun's Epiphany or Saw It Coming. That's a card. Okay, we'll take our draw step. So, past the main. Target player reveals their hand. You may choose a card from it with mana value 3 or greater. That player discards that card. Let's go. Show me the dragon. No dragon. Destroy target artifact. Can blow up the tome, though. And Bone Crusher Giant. I think we get rid of the giant. We can pass here. I think this is fine. If they want to Prismari Command and blow up our Maze Mine Tome, then we can just draw a card, take a bit of damage. And they haven't really accomplished all that much. And if we hit up to land 6, we're chilling. Alright, you know what? I'm not going to take all that damage. We're going to try to blow up this beast. And if they want to destroy the tome, I can still scry. This probably is a Saw It Coming. Which, I mean, if they're countering a Heartless Act and I scry to untap land, they're not going to feel too great about that. Okay. Although this actually does kill Liliana after we minus to kill the beast. So we'll see if they want to activate command now, which they can. Okay. Put my upkeep stop because I really do want to hit untap land. So maybe playing the Predation's a little greedy, but I think it was fine based on how the opponent played. It was fairly likely they'd have Goldspan Dragon, and they just hardcast a giant. Alright, so we're scrying. There's untap land. I mean, it's not bad, right? It kills the Lovestruck Beast, and then Liliana absorbs some damage. I think we keep this. Like, Extinction Event would have been great. Like it isn't perfect, that's for sure. This takes out the Lovestruck Beast. Then they can send like Bone Crusher at it, or if they want a Prismari Command, they can do that too. We're still a minute away from Ugin, which I don't love. Lots of 2-for-1s. And the fact that these make 1-1s every time is frustrating. Okay, opponent makes more mana for themselves. They decide to shoot the Professor Onyx, which is okay. And we're down to 7, almost dead. We gained some life here though, which is cool. So, I think we draw. See what we hit. Because if we hit untap land, then we're happy. We don't. We actually hit a Murderous Rider, though, which might be the move. I'm gonna upkeep, shoot this Bone Crusher Giant. And then the creature side might be important. Okay. So we take literally 4 damage. So 2 from this and 2 from the actual destruction. But we have a lifelinker. As long as it sticks, which is fairly solid. We gained a bit more life off the tome, so not feeling as bad about playing this. And we have 6 mana, so we can potentially play this and kill their 1/1. Cool. Nice. Okay. 3, 4, 5, 7. So like Ugin wipes his whole board. Okay. That's a pretty good top deck as far as top decks go. So we're gonna ramp. We'll see if they actually miss lethal. They can sacrifice one of these serpents to, I think, tap my... Okay, alright. Opponent has the craziest top deck in Coma. Jesus, guys. With exactly 7 mana too. Let's see if we would hit the land. We would not have, but we might off the top. But not anymore because we're dead. What you gonna do about it? Not the best matchup for us. I mean, yeah, hand is fine. Nothing to do on 1 because the opponent doesn't have anything. So we're really just chilling. Cool. Interesting draw. At least we've drawn something for our turn 3. Robber. Okay, I'm not going to play this yet. We're going to go for the Nightmare while we still can. Because we're not under a lot of pressure, and this might hit a cleave. And even if it hits something like a Frostbite, it's completely fine. Yep. Frostbite secured. So, how greedy are we? I'm not feeling too greedy. We don't have instant speed removal for this. I think we just take out Annex with no collateral damage. Odd. Yes, very odd. Okay. So they're gonna play this, play Magda. They're not even gonna play this yet? Okay. I mean, I don't see why you wouldn't. And now we have our Faceless Haven answer. I was gonna say, we have like a million instant speed shoot effects. So you should be fine. We will 1 mana removal spell your 2-drop. And I will ramp with my Simulacrum. Frostbite, okay. And now they're on virtually empty, and they can't even attack because they didn't play the Faceless Haven out. It will be summoning sick. Alright, so we've gotten our Simulacrum value. Fervent Champion. That's fine, we take those around here. I'm just gonna keep increasing my mana base. Plus this actually blocks the champion right now, which we can't always say. And we've drawn a Heartless Act for the Faceless Haven. So we're chilling. I don't think the opponent can really do anything right now. Blockers. Yep. Okay. You know what? I'll see how they attack. Attack with 2. Go to first strike damage. Okay. Do we shoot you? Now what? Did they just throw away their Fervent Champion? Okay, nice. You know what? I'm not even going to try to kill them properly. Let's play Tome out. I could animate Barons and attack. I'm going to hold open everything. If we do this, we can't lose. Just hold open, draw, Murderous Rider, Frostbite. That's fine. I'll take my card. More removal. Ugin, okay. Ugin will just come down. And yeah, this game is over. Even if the opponent has like haste threats, Ugin just bolts them all. Yep, and that's enough for my boy Nelly over here. This is what I mean when I say this deck just absolutely decimates aggro. This is the type of stuff you can expect. Alright guys, and we are back. So I absolutely love this deck. I had a blast recording this video. I don't know if you guys can tell, but Mono Black Control is just so fun for me. We didn't actually see Hunt the Specimens show up, and I think that's fine. I don't think you really need to play it. You can honestly just put more removal in your deck if you want. You can play another Extinction Event, you can play another Elspeth's Nightmare, you can play more Bloodchief's Thirst, you can play another Kling, you can play another Ugin. Honestly, you could play more DFCs. Like, this is like a flex spot pretty much. You can run Flunk, which is another removal spell I was experimenting with. So we never really saw the Learn board pull up in the games, but we did see Professor Onyx absolutely pop off. Like, this card is nuts. I just have so much fun with it. Like, it starts on 5, you plus hit, it goes to 6, and then you're drawing cards, you're hitting your Magecraft triggers. It's just good. Looked pretty bad against Temur, but I feel like that Temur game was almost in the bag until they just ripped Coma off the deck, which, I mean, you gotta show that, right? Aside from that Sultai game proper annoyed me. Like, I calculated it exactly, so you guys can go through it if you want. Basically, the opponent was at 8, we have 2 Magecraft triggers, which costs 4 mana, we have 5 mana, right? So we hit them down to 4. Then we Liliana Ultimate, they have exactly 6 cards in hand, and Liliana reads, each opponent may discard a card. If they don't, they lose 3 life. Repeat that process 6 more times, so in total 7. So that would mean that they take 3 damage, they go to 1, and they have no hand. Then we have exactly 5 mana, meaning we can animate our Crawling Barons and attack for 2, putting them at -1. So that's the line that I was trying to go for, but I didn't know I had to be on full control to target the same creature that was targeted. Anyways, that's just my little parentheses. If you guys stuck around long enough to hear me speak about that game, you know what's up. Anyways, for the rest of you that want to play this deck, it will be in the description down below as always, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace out.